In today's lesson, we're going to go over loops. What are loops? Loops are exactly what they sound like they are. They run things over and over and over again. Keep that in mind. Over and over. Okay? Now, how are they structured? Loops have initializations, conditionals, increments, which is something new we're going to learn today, and they perform actions if the condition is met. Easy enough, right? Always remember to use brackets. Keep this in mind. Don't forget brackets, because brackets are going to come into play, and when you forget them, they're going to screw you over really bad. What is incrementing? Incrementing is adding or subtracting the value of 1 to the value of your variable. And the value in your variable can be anything. You're not limited. We want to add 1 to the value of x, which currently has the value of 5. Okay, simple enough. X plus 1, okay, we're just simply adding, right? Well, this is a way of incrementing, but you're just adding, and this is very sloppy. And there's just a better way of doing it, because you know, you're not just going to do one. This is a type of, it is kind of incrementing, it's just not the best way of doing it. It's sloppy. It's not good. Okay? The better way of doing it is plus plus. You get the same result, and it just looks better, and it's a lot easier when you're coding. We have to code very, long programs. It's easier just to go plus plus. That's how you do it. That's the way to go. Okay? That's incrementing. Keep that in mind. For loops. Now, let's go over an example really quick. X is equal to 1. Now, the condition over here, x has to be less than 100, and obviously 1 is less than 100, so that's true. So x plus plus. What is x plus plus? X plus plus is the same thing as x plus 1, except in a better fashion, okay? So now that is met, it will perform the stated operation right here. It will print out x. X is 1, and if it's less than 100, it will print. Okay, while it does that, it increments it by 1. X becomes 2 now. 2 is still less than 100, and it will print again. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 99. It goes to 99 because 99 is still less than 100. However, as soon as it hits 100, this no longer becomes true. What happens when your condition is not met anymore? Nothing happens. It just stops. That's why these are loops. They have a condition, so they don't run on forever. Now, you must remember, if you don't do things right, you might have an infinite loop, and your program will run forever, continuously for all of eternity if you don't stop it. That's why you need to know what you're doing, okay? Pay attention. So, your output. 1 to 99. Easy, right? Let's go on to something a little bit more in depth. This is too easy, right? Too easy. Way too easy. Alright, now, you must remember to do your readings. If you don't do your readings, you won't understand these operators, and you're screwed, because nothing will make sense to you. Now we're not using x anymore. We're going to use y. And you don't have to just use one variable. Your code can have however many variables as you want, okay? Doesn't matter. Y is 50 now. What's your new condition? It can't be 0. That's what this means. Exclamation equals 0 means it can't be equal to 0. And then, that's a fine, right? X minus minus. What does that mean? X subtract 1. That's all it means. That's the only thing. Plus plus, minus minus, pretty intuitive. Okay, now you have a secondary condition. X has to be the remainder of the number divided by 2 has to be 0. So what this is 50 divided by 2. What is the remainder? There is no remainder. Why? Because the number is even, right? Exactly. So this condition is met. So the remainder is 0. It will print it out because it is not 0, and the remainder isn't 0. It will print. Now the next number, 50 minus 1, 49. 49 divided by 2. There is a remainder, but it's not going to be 0 because it's not an even number. And this condition is no longer met. Now what happens? It stops. Because this is a loop, it doesn't meet this condition. Guess what? It just ignores this, and it goes on to the next number, 48. Guess what? It is not 0, but it is, the remainder is equal to 0, so it will print out 50, 48, all the way to 2. Why doesn't it do 1? Well, 1 isn't even. 1 is odd. There you go. Okay? And why doesn't it go on beyond? Because it won't meet the condition anymore. The thing will just stop. That's the way it is, okay? Alright, so now you will see why. So now you'll see it. 50, 48, 46. It goes all the way to 2. If you can understand this, you're good. You're on a good foot. But for the people, for you guys that are completely lost, you have to practice. You have to read your the readings. If you don't, you're not going to understand anything. All right? You must practice. What I use is Eclipse, and that's what almost everyone that messes with Java uses as well. There are tutorials available online. They're up to you to read. Okay, they're there for you. And this is one of the highest paid professions in the world, so the jobs are there. So it's up to you to go get it. So this is this is it. And this is the lesson for the day.